Yeah! I'm still a wee bit fragile, so bear that in mind, please. Ow. Hi everyone, welcome back to another tea and toast video. This was all I had the energy to make today, if I'm going to be completely honest. Tea and toast talks are basically chats that aren't scheduled or rehearsed or planned in any way. They're just videos where I want to chat with you about something that is current in my life or something that I think is worth talking about now or just in general. I've got your plain old bog standard butter on bread today. I love real butter, and I made it into triangles because that always reminds me of being ill. My mum always used to make me that. Today we're going to be discussing Zoe and Alfie because, well, who isn't? Literally because everyone else does, and I find that itself very interesting. What I find even more interesting is the opinions and things that people have to say about them. I'm more than certain that a lot of YouTubers can relate when I say it's become really normal now. When I tell people what I do and when someone asks me what I do and I start talking to them about YouTube, one of the first things they say is Zoe and Alfie. Like, they mention Zoe and Alfie, they mention mainly Zoe, to be honest. They would say, oh, is that what Zoella does? Although that is pretty cool, like, I like the fact, personally, let's get this off my chest first, I enjoy the fact that what you may call the face of YouTube happens to be Zoella. Zoe, what I'd prefer to call her, but I'm going to say Zoella because people seem to think that's her name. This may be a very unpopular opinion to start off with, but I thoroughly enjoy the fact that our face of YouTube is Zoe because, to be honest, she's never done anything that seems to be wrong. Like, she's quite a good all-rounded person. She looks nice. She has what seems to be a good moral. Like, there's nothing really about her that makes me worried or frustrated about the fact that she, in a way, represents YouTube. Not that she particularly means to, which brings me on to the next point. People will have a lot of bad things to say about Zoe and about big YouTubers. They act as though this was kind of what they wanted, and although that is the case of a lot of YouTubers nowadays who are starting now, like, their main goal is fame and fortune, but for a big majority of YouTubers, they're not liked because a lot of people watch them, which I find is pretty funny in itself, because you're not necessarily hating the fact that they make content that you don't enjoy personally. You're not necessarily hating the fact they don't make the same kind of content that you personally would make if you're a YouTuber. You're basically saying the negative things about them because a lot of people look up to them, a lot of people watch them, and because of that, they get all this fame and they get all this fortune. And people won't admit that. People won't openly say, that is why I don't like YouTubers. They would say, I don't like YouTubers because they don't realise the position they're in, or they should get a 9-to-5 job, or they don't work hard enough. But that is exactly the point. Like, you're not liking them because the fact so many people watch them is giving them a comfortable lifestyle. If you think about it, that's not really in their control. They just happen to be doing this thing they loved, and then something amazing has come out of it, and they are just pursuing that. Like, you would be dumb if you just threw that all away and just decided to live another type of lifestyle that involves less money and less opportunity. Which leads me on to the next point. If you were in their position, would you do the same? Of course you would. Come on now. If you were given a really cool opportunity, if you happened to be doing something that was becoming successful, whatever that was, opening a store, taking part in a hobby that started becoming a job, maybe if a relationship was going really well, would you throw that all away because of whatever reason? No, I don't. People are going to take what they've got in their life, they're going to take the opportunities that they happen to be having, and they're going to take their successes and enjoy them and make the most of what they can from them, because that's what you're kind of living to do, right? We all know we only get a set number of years on this planet, and all of us are aiming for the same thing, and that is our own form of success. To me, if you want to know my opinion on this whole topic in general, which I'm hoping this video will show you, I feel as though it's really sad that we look at each other and knock one another down because we're doing something that isn't the same as you. I know there are a lot of people that are watching this that have bad things to say about Zoe and Alfie. That could be down to just a lot of misunderstanding, like not really knowing what exactly goes into what they do. Maybe you don't understand exactly how they're able to make money. Maybe because of that misunderstanding, because of the fact you don't know what is going on and what happens and how it all works, maybe that's turning you a little bit bitter. I can already see a ton of hate comments already from this video, from what I'm saying, because I'm sitting here and I'm saying, oh, maybe you're just bitter. But honestly, it's so difficult to pinpoint the reason why someone may be upset and angry towards somebody who is just one of many. If I'm going to be honest, there are so many celebrities out there, so many people that you look up to, and so many people in TV, films, magazines that work for themselves, that run their own business. They do the same kind of thing. They work within the media industry, they go on fashion shoots, they do acting, they do charity work, they do all these different types of things, yet the same kind of negative light isn't shining upon them. I've never known someone's income to be discussed so much within the media. Every now and again you'll hear about how much David Beckham earns and how much Lady Gaga's worth, but in most cases people don't get as angry at that. They're more like, wow, I wish I could have that lifestyle, or I wish I could be famous, like that sounds so amazing. And I think maybe if mainstream celebrities had their personal life in the limelight a bit more, and you heard more about what they say and think every day, you would maybe start feeling a little bit angry about the way they don't speak about how grateful they are to be in the position they are 24/7, like every single day, every hour of the day, because YouTubers will get a lot of hate if they say something really small like, oh, I've had a stressful day, or oh, I'm feeling really insecure today. People will jump on that and be like, you have no right to feel those human feelings. And I think that's because we don't hear that sort of stuff from mainstream celebrities, so we just assume that they're, you know, earning all this money and happy all the time, and people respect that a bit more than someone who is rich and miserable. Who knows, I might completely have the wrong end of the stick. I'm just discussing a few things that I hear personally quite a lot. Like I said, so many people say to me, so what's your opinion on Zoella? As if there is anything that really she's done. There are so many other people I could easily have a better conversation about, and say, well, I can mention a few things that I've heard that they've done before in the past. But obviously that without a doubt comes from the fact that the mainstream media are talking about these two as a power couple, and the media just adore talking about these two. I'm not really sure why, I'm not really sure where it came from. They kind of started and then they never stopped. I'm not mad, like I said, but the only bit that does frustrate me about that is that's the only form of YouTuber that the mainstream world kind of hears about and sees. As well as that, it's never never a headline that says something like Britain's most powerful, influential, self-made businesswoman of 2017. Like, it's usually things like, Zoella tells fans to back off as they try and break into her house to get a selfie. Because positive stuff doesn't make news. No one wants to hear about how lovely and la-di-da her life is. They want to see the dirt. Honestly, what I think it boils down to is, have you ever heard of the phrase, don't hate the player, hate the game? If you're going to have bad things to say about Zoe and Alfie, if you're going to have bad things to say about any YouTuber in general that makes a living on here, blame YouTube. YouTube are a platform that have exploded over the past 6-7 years because of advertising. And if you're gonna not like people making content on YouTube, then you shouldn't like people who produce TV shows, because TV make massive amounts of money through their advertising system, which is the exact same as what YouTube does. I was sat watching my family watching television the other night, and I am so used to just YouTube now and Netflix and anything that involves me going to look for what I want to watch, like what video I want to watch, and click on it and then instantly watching it. I'm so used to not seeing long adverts these days that it surprised me when I was watching them sit through a 3-minute commercial break between their TV show and just not caring, it's not bothering them. They're just watching the adverts because that's what they've got to do if they want to wait until the program starts again. The reason why it shocked me a little bit was because in the internet world, that would be tragedy. That would be a sin to have to watch all those amount of adverts, and people complain about the adverts that they watch anyway on YouTube, and it's just like 30 seconds or like 10 seconds, and you can skip the ad anyway. You have that choice. People that watch TV and not a lot of YouTube, I think, forget, like, if you're watching all these adverts on television, that TV program is making a frick load of money that you're essentially allowing them to get because you're sitting watching it, you're watching that program. And yes, you may say, yeah, but it's not going to one person. With YouTube, the way YouTube is going now, it's become such like a big production to have a YouTube channel now, and there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes, and there's a lot more of like a team that's involved now. It does get equaled out to a few people, but even if it doesn't, even if someone makes a channel and runs a channel on their very own and edits themselves, produces ideas themselves, does the graphic design side themselves, actively hunts out for brand deals themselves, all of that stuff, if they do that all themselves, then I think that's a pretty like impressive thing. And honestly, if they can see that they're able to make money, more money, if they do it themselves, then give it to them. They're choosing to put more work on their table so they can earn more at the end of the day, which is cool. If it annoys you that much that they're able to do something and you're not, do what they did. Hit upload, make a video. If you think it's not a lot of work, if you think it's really easy and it's a simple way of life, then nothing's stopping you from trying it. The great thing about YouTube is that anyone's able to make videos, and if you think that it's easy to do what it is that they do, then do it yourself. No one's stopping you. There are so many people that I've seen complain online saying they don't do a lot and they get all this money. If you want money and you don't want to do a lot, then become a YouTuber and you can find out yourself how easy it is. Oh, and afterwards, come back and let me know how it went. I'd love to know. Oh, on that note, I'm gonna leave now. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm on social media such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Bye.